Welcome back to Music Is It Good Though? A different format this week. It's only me here, we're in Daniela's den, because my little co-host Michael Sandwich is off looking at Stonehenge, which I was at last week, so I shall be wearing this in his honour. I'm fine. Checking I wasn't recording too loudly because I'm not used to this setup. By the way, this room is a state because I'm having house refurbishments, but important to keep to a schedule. This week I've been listening to Joni Mitchell live at Newport, which has come out fresh over the past few days. I've very tactfully put my blue record to the side here. I'm not going to be grabbing it because I'll knock things over. I keep looking at the screen, whereas I should be looking at the camera. So that's a thing. Preconceptions of Joni Mitchell. Obviously, I'm a fan, hence. I think that she's somebody who has such a very distinct voice and quite distinct musical stylings as well. Now, something that's very interesting about Joni Mitchell is that a few years ago, she had a brain aneurysm and was told she had to work a lot to be able to even speak again, never mind being able to sing, never mind being able to play instruments. So it seems from reading online that at that point she decided that, you know what, music is not for me anymore, I'm going to stick with drawing, kind of visual art, until there was the Joni Jams, as they're called, where her and some friends such as Brandi Carlile, Marcus Mumford, Elton John, Harry Styles, would all go around her house and kind of just jam out and play some music together. Now, at Newport Folk Festival, I believe it's called, Brandi Carlile and friends were billed to play. And then the surprise announcement was that Joni Mitchell was there, performing for the first time in many years, which thankfully has been recorded and released on a record, which brings us to now, when I've been listening to it and I'm about to talk about it. First of all, we do need to bear in mind, if you're familiar with Joni Mitchell, she was known for this very high falsetto voice. Since the brain aneurysm, she has dropped at least an octave. It's just something that's happened and something that she kind of just manages with now and sings differently. So she does sound very different, but my God, this whole record is pretty fantastic. Now, I'm conscious that I say this as someone who already likes Joni anyway. If you're not a fan of Joni, I don't know if a live album like this would win you over. I mean, I couldn't say, but I think this is definitely worth a listen. And if possible, look on YouTube. It's a live album. There's footage of them performing this live. Look for Big Yellow Taxi, her singing with Brandi Carlile, with the whole gang all around her. It is the loveliest thing. It looks like she's having a whale of a time. The lead vocals predominantly are done by Brandi Carlile. There's obviously other people around as well, and Joni's more backing, I guess, where she does take the lead at times. And that's where it's really noticeable how much her voice has changed. Voices do change as we get older anyways. We can see that with people like Johnny Cash, who started off a lot smoother, still rugged to a degree, but when you compare that to her in his later years, then things do change and the kind of effect of someone's voice changes a lot, which is something that's happened here. Like I say, it's pretty fantastic. Not only through sounding just sonically great, but also through bearing in mind everything that she's had to overcome to be able to sing again. And this group of friends that she has around her who have encouraged that and who have, I don't want to say pushed, but, made her feel like she can do things like this again. There's a song on there, Just Like This Train, which is entirely instrumental, and it's entirely, well, almost. The lead of that song is Joni playing the electric guitar, which, again, I'm going to keep repeating this, but she was told that it's going to be difficult to walk, to talk, to sing. And here she is playing on a stage at a big folk festival, playing guitar for everyone while her friends kind of just keep the beat for her. It's pretty phenomenal, and it's really, I'll put somewhere on the screen. I took a picture the first time I was listening to this and the amount of goosebumps that I got, and just how lovely it was. Highlights for me, definitely listen to Big Yellow Taxi. It's probably her most known song, so give that a listen. And the original recording, at the very end, like she sung the whole song completely normal. At the very end, she went really high for a line, then went really low for a line. Her voice now is much similar to that really low side, but just resting natural now. So she's doing a lot of the backing for that. But yeah, I know I'm rambling. It's hard to do something like this when you've not got someone to bounce off and talk about things with. But, you know, it is what it is. We are where we are. And that's just life. So yeah, listen to Big Yellow Taxi. Listen to Carrie. Like, again, just one of my favourite songs by her. And A Case of You. I mean, these, other than Big Yellow Taxi, these are from, I think A Case of You is definitely on here. I think Carrie is. Yeah, maybe I'm saying it because it's the songs that I'm most familiar with, but they just sound phenomenal. Everything on here sounds fantastic, but those are the ones where I'd say, you know what, if you're not sure, give them ones a listen, especially Big Yellow Taxi. Tell me what you think. Leave something in the comments down there to let me know. There's nothing on here that I hated. I'm trying to think through our usual format if I'm missing anything here. Putting a number on this album. I mean, this is just me. So I can only review things from my own perspective and how I find when I listen to something. So bearing that in mind and not having someone here to kind of balance out with their own opinions, I can only give what I feel for this. And this was one that gave me goosebumps. It nearly made me start crying in the middle of a Costa coffee while I sat there eating my beans and cheese toasty. It's got to be a 10 out of 10 from me. It's the best live album that I've ever heard. Probably quite easily. And just as an album on its own, it's amazing. What she's had to go through, what she's overcome, it's amazing. And that's kind of that, isn't it? So there we go. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. Tune in again next week, where it's probably going to be me again, because whereas Sandwich Boy is at Stonehenge this week, I believe he's camping somewhere next week. He's a real Mr. Busybody these days, and it ain't on. But he might be doing one by himself in September, because I'm off to Amsterdam. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, lovely to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. If you got to the end, leave a comment at the bottom saying you're better without the Sandwich Boy. That'll do his head in. So, yeah, just leave a comment saying get rid of the sandwich. And I'll see you next time when either I or I Am Sandwich, probably just I, will be reviewing this album at the top of the screen. And in the meantime, stay funky, stay cool, and I'll see you on the B-side.